What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. 10 in the Hole, the show where we dissect, digest, and defecate opinions on the weekly football. And my God, has it been a depressing 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. Just sad. I can't wash the taste of young boys out of my mouth. Not like that. I mean, the game. Depressing, man. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And I've had a couple days to just think about it and fester. It's Ollie's fault, man. It's just Ollie's fault. There's no two ways about it. Because let's think about it. All of his substitutions. Okay, not all of them. Let's start from the beginning. Wan-Bissaka gets sent off. It makes logical sense to take off Sancho and bring on Diogo Dalot. Sancho wasn't feeling the game, slipping all over the place. It makes sense. At halftime comes, he thinks to himself, oh, Dalot can't play in the back four. So let's immediately add another center back. That way we can defend. It's just so wrong. Like, why? He could have taken off Lindelof, brought on Varane. That immediately adds extra insurance. And then bring on Matic for Fred. And boom, you shut up shop. That way you can still control the ball. Have players that can take the ball forward. But no, let's take off Van de Beek. As if his confidence wasn't weak enough. Yes, I agree. He was too cautious. He lacked ambition. Because what the fuck, man? It's young boys away. Young boys away. We're Man United. Now we got West Ham coming up. West Ham away is usually a tough tie, although in recent years we have managed to pull off that insane comeback every now and then. But this time around, they don't have Mikel Antonio, which is going to be a huge advantage for us. And it probably means they're going to look to sit back more, which I don't mind because let's be real. I mean, as of right now, who in the hell do Southampton have? I mean, do West Ham have as a striker without Antonio? He's their main guy, isn't he? He is. So we'll probably see an attack of Bowen, Fornells, and Benrahma. They'll probably switch to a 5 at the back. It's going to be tough, but at least it's a good thing that they had the Europa League literally on Thursday. We played last Tuesday, so that gives us the added advantage. A lot of their main players played in that game, like Cresswell playing 90 minutes. Declan Rice played a good amount of time, at least 80 minutes. Suchek played the full game. Fornals played about 80 minutes. So, I mean, they're there for the taking. Let's be real. But we just got to line up right. Otherwise, what's the point? You know, we got to have De Gea in goal. Maguire and Varane have to start. No more of this Lindelof shit. I get it. He's good, but there's no room. Not if we're going to win titles. Luke Shaw, obviously, the machine has to play. Diogo Dalot or Wan-Bissaka is the tough question. You'd think Dalot's going to be getting some more minutes now, especially in Europe. So does he just settle for that? Or do we go for that attacking fullback, you know? Give ourselves more of a chance. Give people more troubles. I think that would be better. I would prefer to see Diogo Dalot over Wan-Bissaka. In midfield, Van de Beek deserves a full 90. I know he got taken off for dubious circumstances, but regardless, I think Matic will still start along with Pogba in midfield. I don't think there's going to be room for Fred, although I do agree that his energy is priceless, and he does his best to win the ball, but he does have to do better. So Pogba, Matic, Bruno rested, so he'll definitely start. Should be a solid midfield. Up front, is the tricky one. Marcus Rashford is back training, but I do think this game comes too soon for him. That's for sure. So my expectation is to see maybe Tony Martial start this game. Martial and Greenwood. Greenwood didn't play, so he's definitely gonna have a chance to start against West Ham. I think he will for sure. And Ronaldo up front, gotta have it. I think I think we should be able to win. But this is where we struggle, man. It's these types of teams that defend deep. We might struggle to break them down, and we've seen that we are not at all reliable defending the counterattacks. So with the front line of Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals can pick the pass even if he isn't the paciest, but the other two have speed. And yeah, I think we could be hurting. We need to be airtight. Look at the comments for a bit. Fuck Martial. um, he did lose some of his sauce. I know what you mean, but at the same time, I don't know, man. Like he had an injury um, ridden season last year. He still hasn't quite come back to that form. He needs to play. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Although his contribution in the young boys game had me fuming as well. Couldn't even hold up the ball. That's all he was brought on to do, and he could not do it. What is the point, man? What is the point? But still, you know what? I'm gonna be confident. I'm gonna expect a 3-1 win to United. Shocking first half, and then in the second half, the boys will step it up. Ronaldo will get his goal like he always does, and I think we should win this. We have to bounce back. Anything otherwise is unacceptable. And all right, let's quickly run through some of the games that we will be seeing over the weekend. Obviously, Spurs Chelsea is the big one um, at the Tottenham Stadium. Oh, it's tough because obviously Spurs just played in the Conference League. Also on Thursday, a lot of big game players playing in that game. However, they did manage to make some substitutions. Obviously, didn't win the game. And Chelsea, man, Chelsea are on a tear. There's just no two ways about it. Chelsea are on a tear. They're just so good. Lukaku just adds so much to that team, man. They already had a lot. I can't see Tottenham winning this, especially not the way they get slapped up against Crystal Palace. If Crystal Palace can hurt you, then Jesus Christ, what are Chelsea gonna do? Would expect Chelsea to start with their regular five at the back. Let's call it a 5-2-2-1. I think Aspliqueta, Christensen, Rudiger to start as the three center backs, with James, who was finally back from suspension, and Alonso playing the wingback positions. Kovacic was fantastic last time out for them. So I do expect him to start again alongside Jorginho, with Mount and Havertz flanking Lukaku. And Tottenham, you got no chance in hell. Is this Ollie's last season? It's tough one, you know. Look, as a United fan, I am obviously in love with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the player. And my feelings for him as a player naturally push me to want him to do well. I want him to succeed because who wouldn't? You know, he's a nice guy, club legend. You want everything to work out for him. But at times, man, I see things that just baffle me. Can anybody tell me for sure what our tactics are? What are they? Is get the ball and inshallah, individual brilliance will bail us out. That's what it feels to me most of the time. Now, look, he's brought in some fantastic players, no doubt about it. He has improved us massively. There has been tangible improvement ever since he took the job. But if he does not win trophies this season, then I'm afraid I I'm gonna have to be Ollie out. There's no way he's getting sacked like in the next couple of weeks or even midway through the season, barring some like absolute catastrophe where like, oh, we're gonna finish sixth now. But if he doesn't win, I'm done. I don't have it in me to wait longer. You could argue, oh, the midfield is missing a player. He hasn't gotten that final piece yet. But for me, I mean, some of the stuff is inexcusable, man. Like, still, like, come on, man. With 10 men, I could have coached that team to beat Young Boys. I could have done that easily. Like, just get on the ball. We have better players. I see Man City do it all the time. I see Liverpool do it. It's really not that complicated, man. I know I've never managed in that level, but come on. Come on. Come on. I don't know. I want him to succeed, though. I will say that. I do want him to succeed. All right, elsewhere in the league, you got Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, fan bloody tastic last week against Tottenham. What can you say? What can you say? Patrick Vieira's team had a fantastic game. There is no doubt about it. 3-0 winners at home, though. Obviously, heading to Anfield, quite the different prospect, especially with Liverpool in the form they're in. They were not so great against AC Milan, at least not defensively. You could argue, not Van Dijk not being there. That is probably the biggest weakness they have. It shows the lack of depth in their squad because some of the position play from Joe Gomez and Matip, especially Trent Alexander Arnold, who, for me at least, was at fault for both goals that Milan scored. That's something they're going to have to iron out. But when Van Dijk is playing, you can probably rest assured that he will keep that defensive unit cohesive, working together, which they will have to be because Edward, who made his debut for Crystal Palace last time, that guy's a pure finisher, man. He gets an inch, he just goes for it. He's been doing really well for Celtic for a couple of years now, and now he has the chance to show it at the biggest of stages. Obviously, Tottenham were pretty much already beat by the time he came on, but still, you gotta say, I mean, he took those goals well. You can only beat what's in front of you, right? And otherwise, you got Man City taking on Southampton. Man City, I mean, these guys play some fantastic football. Pep has them humming so far. Humming. They've just been absolutely fantastic ever since they lost to Tottenham. Goals coming in from everywhere. Good performance against Leipzig, 6-3 winners on the night. I say good, not great, because they still conceded 3 goals. And Leipzig just gave them all the space. These men didn't even try. It was pathetic. But yeah, I expect Walker to be back in the side. Jesus to probably start up front with Torres and Grealish. I'm backing Torres to get some goals because I need him. I need him to start getting me some fantasy points. But we will get to the FPL later. Quick question here. If you could tell Ollie one thing and he had to do it, what would you want to tell him in terms of tactics? That's a good question. Um, that he needs to establish some sort of attacking pattern because I don't see that in our build-up whatsoever, man. It's more relying on like quick breakaways, luring the team in, and hitting that space in behind quickly. But when we come up against those teams that defend with 5 at the back, they just pack players in and around the box. we always struggle to break them down. So there needs to be some semblance of, okay, this is how we're going to move the opposition to create space. This is how we move the ball. And oftentimes I see it in our build up, man. It's just way too slow. Way too slow. I mean, how does he go about speeding it up? That should be his job. He's the one with the coaching licenses, not me. But like, come on, surely he's seen that. And that's where I think at least that someone like Donny Van de Beek coming into the sixth position with Pogba and Bruno could potentially help us do that, because he is not just a decent ball carrier. He knows how to receive it, just pass it quick. And that could make all the difference. I mean, I rate Nemanja Matic, but the issue with him is his mobility now. He's not really um, somebody who can chase and harry the opposition. Van de Beek's still young. Um, he's fit. It's obviously not his natural game, so to say, but I think he can be molded. But the thing is, how are you going to mold him if you don't give him minutes? How's he going to learn? That's why I don't get, man. Too haphazard. Yeah, no, I agree 100%, man. There's no, like, what is the plan? Because I don't see it. I don't ever see it. I have no idea what's going on more often than not. Well, I hope he fixes it, man. I don't know. Like at some point, you just have to start blaming the coaching staff. Have to. Anyway, elsewhere in the league, just gonna do a quick run through of all the remaining games because I don't care. Leicester head to Brighton. Should be an interesting one. Leicester did play in the Europa League. The thing I'm worried about with Leicester and West Ham is the Europa League, because we saw last season it made for a grueling schedule, especially um, in the Premier League. He's playing Thursday, Sunday, plus cup games. It's going to be difficult to see how they can adapt to it. I mean, Leicester probably more well equipped because they do have the depth in the squad. So, for example, they were able to rest Jamie Vardy against Napoli, but West Ham, not so much, man. I don't see them having that depth, you know? Aston Villa play Everton. Should be a decent game. I expect Everton to just win that. They've been in decent form under Rafa Benitez. Fucking ironic to say. Wolves, Brentford. I'm expecting Wolves to finally kick on after that first win of the season, and hopefully they will destroy Brentford at the Molineux. Arsenal go to Burnley. It's one of those tricky ones. You'd think Arsenal should have it in the bag. Bro, Mikel Arteta has been talking some absolute bollocks this past week, man. This dude is crazy. I don't know what he's on. Has been saying things like, "Oh, all of this is happening for a reason. You guys will see. It will be for the better." Like, Jesus, this is the happiest moment, 10 days of my career. Like, bruh, what are you talking about? Like, you beat Norwich barely. uh, it's rough, but I see them winning against Burnley, and although in very boring fashion. And finally, Norwich Watford. Um, this is one for the ages, really, because who gives a fuck? And of course, Newcastle play Leeds today in what should be an interesting game. Leeds generally tend to win against Newcastle. At least they beat them twice last season. I'd expect them to do it again. Cam Wilson's still out, although that Leeds defense has been shaky. So who knows? Who knows? Quick look here. We need to have Donny Van Beek, Rashford connection. Mez has balls. I guess he moves the ball forward. Yeah, I mean, hopefully once Rashford comes back, we'll see a much more improved team because, bro, Marcus, the legend, love that guy. And top five predictions. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, it's difficult. It's still so early in the season, but you'd expect City, United, Liverpool, and Chelsea to be in that top four comfortably. In what order? I would say it's too hard to predict, but I got to back of the man. Them Man United are gonna finish top. Just saying. And fifth place, um, I mean, it really depends on how their Europa League campaign goes. But I would have to say that I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it Leicester. Leicester in fifth over West Ham. Even though I've been a big fan of the Hammers, but it just is what it is. All right, all right. Now let's get into the FPL chat, Fantasy Premier League. Obviously, last week I showed you guys the team, the transfers I made with the wild cards, and then I tinkered. I lied to you. I stayed up and I made a better team. And yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I ended up with last week in just a moment. Let me just get this sheet open. Get this sheet open. Get this sheet open. Where the hell? All right. Boom. Boom. Shakalaka. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Shake the room. Right here. There you go. There you have it. 83 points. Dropped to Mason Mount. Brought in Paul Pogba, as you do. And I brought in Saiz and Duffy. Although didn't play them. Regret having these points just sitting on the bench like that. It hurts. But the Ronaldo captaincy working great. Andre Gray, Demarai Gray, sorry. Mo Salah, everybody just getting in on the points. But it does put me in a difficult position for this week. Now, Antonio is obviously suspended, so time's up. You're getting transferred. Boom. But the problem that does give me is who to replace him with. Who do you replace him with? Because obviously, that budget is kind of tight, man. 7.8 doesn't give you much room for leeway. But I think I have three candidates in mind at the end of the day. Alan Sam Maximan, obviously, because he is playing against Leeds. Then he's got Watford, Wolves, Tottenham, Crystal Palace. It's a good run of games. All games he could score in, no doubt about it. And I think he's only had one game week so far where he has not brought in any major points. There is, of course, Timo Pukki, who would be a cheeky one, considering Watford at home. Obviously, Everton, tough one, but then you got Burnley, Brighton. Those are games he can get goals in. And if there's anybody who's an attacking threat in that team, it is him. Edward would maybe be a great shout, but not yet. Maybe around game week 8 when he's up against Arsenal, that starts a decent run of games where you'd expect him to smash it. But this is the main guy I'm thinking about, Raul Jimenez. No goals yet, so he's still on the cheap, you know? And you've got Brentford at home, Southampton away, Newcastle at home, Villa, Leeds, Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham. No, like that's a good run of games, man. And they did produce chance after chance last time around. So Jimenez, get in my team. Boom, transfer made. Free hit? No. Confirm. Confirm it. But now for the tough part. um, Norwich away, you'd expect Dennis to get some points. Villa away is a tricky one for Everton, so I don't know whether to trust it or not. So Saiz, for now, I need him in my team. Um, Tierney at Burnley is a cause for concern. I don't know what to think of that one because he could get goals. I mean assists, but I think they'll concede. I just don't see them being good enough defensively. They really ain't. They're shocking, actually. So therefore, Tierney, you're dropping out, man. You're dropping out. And Gray is coming in. I think I'm gonna keep Gray over Tierney. Should I? What do you guys think? Who's backing me on this? Tierney? No Tierney? K Tears? Or Gray? Oh, it's tough, man. You know what? I say let's keep K Tears. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. And with that, I will boom. Team saved. Captain is the big one now. Who do you go with? I mean, Mo Salah loves a goal against Crystal Palace. In fact, he loves them a lot. Torres has a decent chance against Southampton. I mean, the guy will get chances. Will he finish them? Different story. Jimenez, potentially big points for him. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. I mean, how do you say no to Ronaldo? I'm not sure. But you know what? I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be very brave, in fact. Actually, no, I'm going to be a pussy and I'm going to captain Salah. I'm sorry, man. I was going to be brave and captain Trent, but I think I have to be a pussy and captain Salah. I just have to. Otherwise, I expect the big points. Obviously, been doing fantastic so far. I mean, just look at this. Look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. Let me zoom in on these numbers for you. Look at these numbers. 17,000 overall. That's some good shit right there. Destroying the personal leagues. Look at all these ones. Look at all these ones. Don't look at this 13. Look at all these ones, twos, and threes. Yeah. But anyway, that's it from me for now. I will be coming back to do a live watch along for West Ham against Man United on Sunday. Please tune into that, like and subscribe to the channel, and peace.